Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a game between MaNa and HanDy here on Colosseum. Bottom left-hand corner, we got to find ourselves the Polish Protoss player. It is MaNa. And on the bottom right side of the map, we have the Teal Terran player. It is HanDy, and he is Peruvian. Have I ever cast a game with a Peruvian player before? I don't know, but he's a foreigner professional player, or he was. These games are pretty darn old, you guys, so I don't think that HanDy's active anymore, but he has his own page on Wikipedia. And yeah, MaNa, you know him very well, either from StarCraft 2 or Brood War, and if you're watching this, then you probably know him from Brood War. Really nice guy, really great Protoss player, really great foreigner Protoss, and this is Colosseum. This sunken here right here, man, I am being redundant today, is just so you can't wall this off, right? Walling this off would be pretty easy versus Zerg, and you can kill it, just not very fast, because you basically need a gateway or a forge and some cannons, and it's all good. So there's an expansion up here. There is something up here as well. Anyway, that's why. You just can't wall it off up here. Come wall it off down here, though. It's a little bit wider, a little bit harder to do. All right, man. Probe scouting to the top right-hand base. Who cross scouts first? I know we've seen this before, but man, I don't know why. I don't know why you would cross cross position first, but whatever. It's cool. Gateway coming up. We got a barracks up at home. Nothing too crazy from either of these players. We're having a pretty good time with it. And yeah, man, we've got gas on the way from both players too. Gas really important, both for Protoss and Terran. In this matchup, you need a lot of Dragoons to deal with what Terran is going for, and you need a lot of mech to go what Terran is going for. And yeah, just both of those are going to be good options here. SCV scouting around. Probe does get in, because again, you can't wall this off very quickly. And there it is. There's the wall off. So now the probe is stuck in here. Can go on this high ground, obviously, and see what's going on there. There's not an expansion, obviously, based on the barracks timing, and that's fine. Let's see if the probe can get out. Definitely not, right? That is a hard wall. That is a hard wall. If the SCV comes to this other side of the wall, the probe can harass him, but the RNG is actually not allowing that to happen at the moment. We've got ourselves with Joe's shack over here. Looking pretty good there. And yeah, the probe harassment is beginning now, but there's a Marine out, and that should shut it down rather quickly. Yep, so Cybernetics Core on the way. Do we get Singularity Charge fast? That indicates there's going to be some aggression here. With Singularity Charge, HanDy doesn't have the gas for it, so not going to get that upgrade quite yet. Probe just trying to keep himself alive here. Actually hasn't lost any hull damage. It's just been some shield damage from the Marine early. And fast enough to stay alive here and be super annoying for the time being. Not like there's anything you're going to see here that's going to be interesting or new, right, HanDy? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a factory. Of course it's a factory. You're not going to see multiple barracks against Protoss because Bio's really bad against Protoss. Storm is the thing. There's Singularity Charge as soon as he can afford to get it. As soon as MaNa can afford to get it. I think I called him HanDy a second ago. As soon as MaNa can afford to get it here, which does indicate he's planning on being aggressive. You can defend pretty well without range on your Dragoons, but if you want to get stuff done on the other side of the map early, you want to have Singularity Charge fast. Boy, it is late, but we're doing it. We're casting this anyway. This is Falcon. And yeah, now you know I don't recast stuff if I make mistakes. And you probably already knew that, but whatever. Alright, man. Dragoon pushing out to join his buddy. And yeah, they're going to be marching across here, putting some pressure on these supply depots and barracks. And you're not going to expand up here, are you? I don't know what you're doing, SCV. You're just, are you checking for Dragoons? Are you checking for weird proxy pylons for stuff? What is this? I don't know what this is, gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna try to kill this. Alright, so we're firing on this side. Not even using the range at this stage, because you don't need it. But, man, free shots on that Marine are pretty good. SCV does get picked off on the other side there, too. But the tank shows up and does shoo away the Dragoon for the time being. Yeah, siege mode is almost done, too, so it's gonna shoo it away forever in just a minute here. No question about it. So Singularity Charge is not done yet, but it doesn't matter, because siege tank or siege mode is just about done here too. Expansion on the way here from HanDy. I'm loving this, honestly. I was going to say, where's your expansion from MaNa? And there it is. It's coming up now. It's a little bit behind the Terrans, who's already done and already mining, by the by, which is a pretty good Wow, pretty good advantage to have here. I gotta say, MaNa seems pretty handily behind. It's got a bunch of Dragoons, but man, 2 tanks can hold off a huge number of Dragoons. They're gonna try to maybe come from this high ground and snipe them off from there, which, I don't know, I'm okay with that. I think you can try it, but you're gonna take shots from tanks anyway if you get close enough, so maybe it's not worth it at all. We'll have to see. It is a robotics bay and a shuttle on the way for MaNa, so he's going to go for some Reaver drops here, and we'll see how well HanDy can hold those off. Again, never cast HanDy before, not sure how good of a Peruvian player he is. Not a lot of great players from Peru, I gotta say. I'm trying to think of anybody I've ever cast from Peru, and I haven't. I don't think, but first Reaver on the way. SCV gets in for a perfect scout, sees the robotics facility. Yeah, man, you see that? It's going to be Reaver drops, dudes. You're going to want tanks defending this mineral line to some extent. Maybe some turrets over here, too, would be nice, as this is a nice little flying in path for that shuttle. Maybe a turret down here would be good, but he doesn't have an engineering base, so turrets are going to be hard to pull off. Although this is a engineering base, so yeah, he wants them. He definitely wants turrets, recognizing that drops are a very real potential possibility here, as we've got 1 Zealot and 1 Reaver in production. The time is ticking and clicking here. MaNa's natural is still not done, and HanDy's been mining for this for it feels like a couple minutes now. We got tanks, just constant tank production out of this one factory so far from HanDy. Really going hard on the macro here. SCV is constantly into production, making sure supply depots are happening here too. And here comes the shuttle. I mean, obviously HanDy knows this is coming. Is he gonna? Yep, he's trying to build a turret here, but it's not gonna be in time to catch the shuttle. Where are the tanks on the low ground? The tank is ready to go wherever it needs to be. Do you want to come in here? He's gonna try to come in here. The tank setting up, man. Oh, getting a free shot off. Oh, does kill 2 SCVs, but not that many. Turret gets some free shots off there. That's pretty good stuff. I'm loving this. Out of HanDy, I think 2 SCVs killed is more than fair. Oh, the shuttle's getting shot at. It doesn't have speed. It could be chased down by these Marines. Tank fires. Zealot dies. Shot off. Several SCVs die. I want to say 3 there. And he does manage to get out. I don't know what that Dragoon is trying to do. Walking in that front door, there are tanks waiting for her or him, but crikey. All right, very good then. Reaver does manage to get how many kills? Unload it? Not going to unload it. Unloading it is asking for it to die. Maybe he will unload it just to make more scarabs, possibly? No, he loaded and unloaded that Dragoon. What were you thinking of doing? I don't know. So MaNa's up 64 to 51 at this point. He's got a pretty darn big army advantage, it seems like. Probe advantage. Looking fairly healthy here, too, with those SCVs that got killed, obviously. Observer popping on out. Just dealing with spider mines, which don't exist, by the way. We don't have any vultures. It's been so much tank production here, so much turtling right now from HanDy. Making additional factories, really starting to ramp up that production here, but he's not working on spider mines. He's not working on vulture speed. You can't skip vultures in a TVP, man. What are you doing? This feels pretty unorthodox. MaNa's like, man, if you're going to play with this many tanks, I'm just going to go ahead and expand to the top left and call it a day. You can't really get out here with tanks without me seeing you coming. Vultures, on the other hand, are scary, but you don't have any vultures. Another Dragoon guy is out at the front trying to distract, I would guess, but this is not working out. MaNa just leisurely strolling on through here. There's no Goliaths out. First vulture is in production. First vulture of the game on the way here. Second gas being taken by HanDy. And MaNa is not working on his assimilator yet at his natural base. He doesn't have gas there. Just working on 1 gas. Doing a humongous probe transfer up. Wow. I mean, if there were any vultures on the map, these guys would not be trying this. But because the vulture count is so darn low, it doesn't matter. MaNa can afford to take this risk. I'm liking it. Vulture speed is on the way now from HanDy. And yeah, I mean, this is just nothing weird, man. The tanks early were weird. The no vulture pressure was weird too. I think that really allowed MaNa to macro up and get the third base running. He was behind on his natural, obviously, but he is not behind on his third by any stretch of the imagination. It is done, and it is saturated. Spider Mines coming in, Dragoons getting Zealot legs is MaNa at this stage of the game, and both players just pretty much macroing up. Pretty much just enjoying the ability to macro up without being actively harassed. Like, that's a good feeling, you know? MaNa's like, man, no vulture run-bys, no spider mines in my main. No probes getting massacred because 2 vultures got behind this mineral line. This is great. I'm feeling super happy about this. I'm going to get upgrades. Going to get a ton of zealots here. It's 99 to 81 supply. MaNa has a nice lead. A really, really nice lead here. And just kind of running his Dragoons here and there across the map. More Vultures on the way. Do they have speed? I did not see speed come through. Okay, there's Zippy. Fair enough. Oh, they're going to try to kill this Reaver? Sort of. Why not? Oh, that's so many Dragoons. Oh, gosh. Can they get the... Oh, Reaver! Reaver almost dead, but Reaver not dead. Spider-Mine's getting laid down. Speed is definitely done. These are zippy Vultures. This one wants to die, and yes, the Dragoons do allow that to happen. Do acquiesce him on that. Zealot dropping on top of tanks here. This is really nice. Usually you don't see this until the mid to the late game. Unsieges the tanks, recognizing the threat that dropping a Zealot on one tank can be, as everybody fires on it and the friendly fire kills the tank. One Zealot for one tank is definitely a fair trade. But yeah, there's your third base up here as well. So, looking good. Still hasn't killed his own Sunken, interestingly enough, but this is a really big Gateway army. This is really big for Gateway army, and this is how you can kill Terran. It's just kind of out macroing them like this. Mech takes a while to get spun up, and, well, when they do, they're pretty scary. That's a lot of tanks. Free shot on that Vulture, almost killing it here. Here's your standoff. This is where it is. No Goliaths, man. Unsiege the tanks. Re-siege the tanks. Oh, tank does go down. No, shuttle gets picked off too. I think there was a Reaver in there. Ugh. Rest in peace, Reaver. You did some good work. Not as much probably as MaNa wanted you to do, but she did some good work. MaNa just keeps pulling ahead in overall economy here. But he can't engage into these tanks, man. He's trying. The Zealots are doing a pretty good job against these tanks, but the Vulture count is high enough, I think, to keep them away, and then the tank fire is also pretty intimidating here too. He doesn't have upgrades. No upgrades at all. Same story here for MaNa, not upgrading whatsoever either, which is a little bit interesting. Usually you see one of the players going for upgrades. Especially vehicle attack is really nice in this situation. Okay, coming from both sides. Tanks firing, Vultures firing. Vultures not doing great here because it's all Dragoons, but if they're a supplemental damage to the damage the tanks are doing, then hey, it totally works out. Tanks soften them up and Vultures finish them off. Trying to come in. These tanks are undefended. Ooh, HanDy. Okay, Vultures coming in. They're going to try to deal with the Zealots. More Vultures cruising in from the south here. And yeah, evaporating those Zealots pretty nicely. Again, if the upgrades are equal, Vultures are fantastic against Zealots. Spider-Mine's getting laid down, continuing to push across the map here. Tanks not even in siege mode. Just pushing and killing Dragoons. This one. 3 HP and down. Zealots once again trying to get on top of these tanks. Spider-Mine friendly fire actually kills those two tanks, and that's going to shut down this push. Additional Vultures are coming across, though. Where are the more tanks? Has he been producing them? I don't know, man. His macro doesn't seem super good. Not as good as it needs to be, I don't think, to win this game. 700 and 1400 is his bank right now, which means he could have been making tanks that whole time. This should have been a reinforcing group of tanks here. And sure, the Vultures show up to the top left-hand corner. Congratulations, you found it. But are you enough to actually take down 2 Zealots with speed and a Dragoon? I don't know. With Spider-Mines, maybe. Yeah, with Spider-Mines, going to help a lot there for sure, at least against, well, the Zealot. But man, 1 Vulture remaining is definitely not enough. Spider-Mine's getting cleared out up this top left side. MaNa doing a fantastic job clearing those out, without question. Yeah, so far so good for MaNa. 134 to 89 supply. He just keeps pulling ahead in overall supply here, consistently making Dragoons, consistently making Zealots, even during attacks. And this is why MaNa is one of the greatest Protoss players known in the StarCraft universe, is for reasons like this, man. He's just good. Really good. But not quite retired at this point. He's still playing Nation Wars, I believe. StarCraft 2 tournament featuring a lot of different countries around the world. Nation Wars. And you know what? He's... is he? As this goes nowhere for HanDy. Some probes die, but nothing too crazy here. Vultures swinging up the middle of the map, right past a big orange army. And Vulture's trying to get up here, but continued Dragoon production is going to keep that thing safe, it seems like. In the meantime, MaNa going for it, pushing right on in with the Zealots and the Dragoons into an established tank line. Don't recommend this one at all. Nope. Not working super well here. The Vultures were out of town. They're trying to get on in. The Zealots are pretty much unopposed on top of these tanks. They are taking so many tanks with them. The Vultures are trying to get rid of these Dragoons with the help, and they do manage to push this away. But it's 105 to 74 supply. Actually, HanDy kind of is doing all right at this position. Supply-wise, he is producing more tanks and more Vultures during that engagement. And yeah, MaNa is actually representing Poland. The Laser Inertio, MaNa are the 3 players. So nicely done. MaNa's still competing, guys. Still competing in StarCraft at a high level. Not so much with Brood War anymore, but definitely with StarCraft 2, which, I don't know, that's kind of neat. In case you're wondering what happened to MaNa, that's your answer. Okay, 115 to 82 supply. Do we have upgrades yet? Keep trying to look for upgrades, and still, man, no upgrades for Terran and no upgrades from Protoss. They are just completely not interested in making upgrades this game, and I don't know if this is a practice match or what. They're like, we're going to do no upgrades, okay? Actually, just kidding. Decoy weapons is on the way from HanDy, but nothing from MaNa. He's not feeling the upgrade motivation at all today. Man, if you could drag these Dragoons out into those Spider Mines, it'd be so nice, but a player like MaNa is just not going to allow that to happen. You can lay all the Spider Mines you want. These Dragoons are going to come in here with an Observer and clear them out. Goliaths are on the way and getting Charon boosters just to deal with shuttles, I have to assume, as we're not really seeing Arbiter play out of MaNa, are we? He is not teching up. I guess maybe, okay, he's almost there. He's almost Arbiter tech. He needs a Tribunal. Not sure if he has one anywhere. Nope, no Tribunal yet. But definitely working on it. Engagement in the middle of the map here. Zealots on top of the Vultures. Tanks firing from behind and not enough. The Dragoons have to pull back here. This is what you got to do. You got to delay. Because HanDy's going to keep pushing here. But you got to have army to try to slow him down, or he's just going to A-move into your main base. And you can't attack into a sieged position, because you'll die too. But this is better than having a siege position right here, for example, because all your stuff will die. 138 to 98 supply. MaNa is up 40 supply right now, which is pretty bad. Well, 30 supply right now. Maths are not my strong suit, I'll tell you that much, but 30 supply is still pretty bad news. And there's your Arbiter Tribunal coming up. Where, though? Right here. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense that it would be there. Dragoons, Zealots marching up. Spider Mines getting some decent, I mean, sure. Oh, that one didn't hit. Maybe it did hit. That's a pretty injured Zealot there. Hey! HanDy coming on down. Army out of position here. MaNa says, let's go for it. Let's trade a base for a base. I can kill all of your income by coming down here and killing this corner. You can't kill my income. I have 2 additional bases up in the top left. I'm a 5 basing Protoss to a 3 basing Terran. Yeah, you could probably kill buildings faster with your tanks, but these Dragoons, they're not playing with pillows, man. They still kill your stuff. Arbiter in production. These probes are all going to die. And yeah, I mean, MaNa's not even really trying to run at this stage. Says, we're basically good, but if I kill all your stuff down here in the bottom right, I win. So yeah, nobody's interested in engaging with the army right now. MaNa especially not interested in engaging with the army. So I'm going to come in here and kill all the factories. All the gateways are getting killed here too. MaNa does have a few safe gateways up at the top left here, which is really important stuff. He wants to make sure this Arbiter doesn't come out. Did one already pop? I thought I saw one was further along in production than that, but maybe not. So no Arbiters. That's a problem for MaNa, but again, he has income right now, while HanDy is running for his life in all 3 of his bases. SCV is trying to get out of here, but pretty good control on these Dragoons. I'm not sure if any of these guys are going to make it out of here alive. God, the massacre. The absolute massacre of the SCVs here is just brutal beyond description. Yeah, you need to get to the top left now. Are we base racing? We're kind of base racing. Some units are left behind to kill stuff, but MaNa pulls out because he knows if this army sets up like right here, it might be all lost. This is good. This is a good game right now. This might get an epic tag, just depending on how things go in the next couple of minutes here. Could be exciting, could be one-sided. We'll have to figure it out. Either player. I mean, MaNa's up big time for sure, but these tanks are nothing to sneeze at. Oh, High Templar gets focused down. As Storm done? By golly. It's a lot of dead Dragoons. Army trying to sneak up the backside here for MaNa. Has to get through this minefield, though, which is problematic. Firing up on that high ground. Getting some vision up there is really nice. Trying to control and block his flanks. This is nuts. This base is mining, though. I don't know that HanDy knows this exists. Oh, that's such a problem. But pushing up the left side right now, we got Zealots, we got Dragoons. Nothing defending this top left-hand corner anymore. The tanks need to move up and start taking down these Zealots because MaNa has a lot of money for Zealots and a lot of gateways here for Zealots, too. He's sitting on 6. A lot of production available. He's only making 1 Zealot at a time, which is interesting. I'm not sure what else he's doing. He's working on Hallucination, though. Late game, interesting attempt at doing something here, it would seem. MaNa's expanding to the top right. This is just problematic for HanDy. He's down to 47 total supply. His income is in the toilet. I think this is his 1 remaining command center. Is it going to get caught out? Actually, this commander's still alive. But this command center, rather, is still alive. Okay, this base down. MaNa still has this base. He still has the base in the top right. This engineering bay is floating about here, too. This command center does actually... Ooh, expanding up here, too. This is interesting. I'm kind of honestly enjoying it right now. Once again, just clearing out spider mines at this stage is all MaNa's been doing. This bottom right-hand base is still technically here. But yeah, killing the ComSat station seems like a good idea. He could be scanning around trying to see where MaNa is, but I think his attention is probably elsewhere at this stage of the game. I can't believe +1 vehicle weapons is the only upgrade we have today. I'm kind of surprised by that. Oh, Dark Templar. Dark Templar in production. Did he not kill? He didn't kill the Templar Archives. Oh, man. It's going to be DTs, and there's not going to be any detection for HanDy. He doesn't have a ComSat station. His engineering bay exists, but does he have any turrets? Yes, actually. He does have some turrets. So maybe that's enough. Maybe he can keep this little island of his safe. Hang on. Where is it? DT? I heard you. Is that you? Oh, you were taking some tank fire. You got 4 kills, but also you took tank fire, and there's a missile turret here, so that's bad. Yeah, you could probably take this top left-hand corner, HanDy. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this is kind of a 1 base to 1 base feel here, although MaNa is mining gas from his natural, because this base was never actually killed. HanDy kind of pulled out there. Yeah, he knows DTs are on the map. I think HanDy is prepared for that. That's why all these turrets exist. Because he knows the Stargate is dead. Actually, did he not? Did this get replaced? I think MaNa replaced the Stargate. Yeah, that went down. And bam! HanDy taps out! Oh, HanDy, I know you were down in supply, guy. I know there was still production happening for MaNa. You didn't have a lot of production at all, in fact. If anything, I think you had your army and that was it. So the fact that, yeah, the fact that Zealots and Arbiters and Dragoons are in production and MaNa is happily mining from an entire base, still has gas coming in from here, and still could actually mine from his main if he wanted to, whereas it's a 1-basing HanDy on this island of sadness right here. Yeah, I guess he saw the writing on the wall, decided to tap out. That's a lot of Dragoons and Zealots, man. I mean, MaNa wouldn't even really have to attack into the high ground. He'd just try to make HanDy try to expand somewhere else and probably could shut it down. He just saw the writing on the wall. He was falling apart and decided to tap out, but kind of a disappointing end. I mean, I'd rather see HanDy fight to the bitter end, you know what I mean? But not in the cards. Not in the cards this time around, so interesting stuff. Interesting stuff nevertheless, and I had a good time. I always like it when both bases are getting killed at the same time by different armies, because you never know. You never know what's going to come out on top there, so good stuff. Let's go ahead and check out the final score, as we like to do. MaNa ends up winning that thing 125,000, 101,000 points. Ends up killing 227 units, losing 178. Structures raised 30 by MaNa to only 18 by HanDy. And then the resources, just way more. That third base coming up as soon as it did for MaNa was a huge deal for him. Absolutely crushing HanDy, who did take, again, a quick natural, but his third base was late, and he never actually got a fourth, where MaNa was sitting happily on 3 bases, then 4 bases, and I guess by the time it took a fifth, it was base race time, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, I mean, total spent 40,000 versus 27,000. That's a huge advantage for MaNa, just fantastically making it happen. And APM 266, I mean, right around what HanDy's is. It's not like APM was the difference here, but just macro, just consistently building stuff, expanding. The timings were good. HanDy did make the mistake of not getting vultures early, and it cost him in the end. So that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.